You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dad's After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dad's After Show.
Junior Mafia.
Yeah. That's right.
I like this.
Hello, everybody. What's up? This is AFTERBUZZ TV's After Show for Dads. The volume just got really loud, and we're snaking to.
Is that the name of this movie?
Yeah, the snake.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was just like a cool like.
We're gonna do the Cabbage Patch.
Oh, no. Anyway.
All right. Anyway.
This is the Dad's
Cabbage
After
Patch
Show
killed it.
at AfterBuzz TV. We are on season 1 of Dads on Fox, episode 8. This was called Double's Trouble. It was about a little video game tennis.
Virtual tennis
tournament. And when we had Vanessa Lachey on our show, our last guest, she kind of told us about this and how funny her little part was, and I loved it. I loved the
A lot of physical comedy.
the loud grunt for, and it was so funny. Tonita Castro, who plays Edna, just went bing, bing like that. with her.
Was she like feather duster?
It was like
Dust.
feather duster.
Dust.
It was good. She
Dust.
obviously had
Dust.
she had the right movement going. This episode made me laugh out loud, I think 4 times.
Oh,
And-
we're counting now when we left.
Well, no, we don't have to, but I did, and I actually am, just for the record, was really extremely tired while watching this episode and still laughed. And then I laughed at my laugh because I was like, I'm so tired, I'm still laughing.
You know, for me, and I guess this doesn't do much justice to Dad's because I'm a big fan of it, but this to me was the least funny episode out of all the ones that I've seen so far.
Well, okay, why do you think that?
And I don't know if it was, you know, I don't want to say lack of writing, but there was just, there wasn't a lot. The funniest moments to me out of this was honestly the drum part when they were communicating
Yeah,
back
that's
and
my
forth.
favorite part.
We were talking about it on the way here.
That was hilarious to me.
Right.
But other than that, it really didn't do nothing
I'm
for
not
me.
going to disagree with you that it wasn't the funniest episode. I just found myself laughing out loud for some reason.
I think because you didn't really have to pay attention and like the things they were doing physically were so funny.
Maybe that gets me, the physical comedy.
Yeah.
But Giovanni Ribisi, this was an episode. I mean, he's always in it a lot, but there was no real B storyline this episode, which normally there is. There's like
Exactly.
somebody's trying to get the dads out somehow, and then
The dads were
something
almost
else.
like irrelevant in
The
this
dads
episode.
were like, they weren't trying to push the dads out this episode, and the only real storyline was this tennis tournament and the friends that then of course the therapy session that happened after that was just another, like, you know, scene change, but it wasn't a different storyline.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. It was
so,
more.
It was all
touching on the
connected.
same.
yeah. So maybe that's why, because there was just one thing to be focusing on, and the physical comedy made me laugh. But the parts that really got me was the Giovanni Ribisi freaking out and the drum circle stuff. So there were certain instances that really, I think Giovanni Ribisi just really makes me laugh.
He's great.
He's so awkward, and I love him, and he's also like sexy at the same time. How did that? I said that.
Wow, you did.
He accomplishes all of that in, you know, his
Because I
performance.
wasn't sure how I was going to feel about him, like as the sitcom husband, which we've talked about on the show before, tends to usually be like the weaker of the characters when it's the husband-wife. It's usually the wife in charge. And so I think that Vanessa and Giovanni are a really good casting for that, because you believe them in that aspect. But I was wondering how they were going to be together, and like if I was going to believe that she would love him, and like vice versa. And I really do like believe it. And I also, as a woman, kind of think he's sexy. Like I'm like, oh, this hot, beautiful, sexy, like exotic looking woman. Giovanni, he's not a bad looking guy, but he's more like character actor, like
Totally.
awkward-ish kind
He's
of.
very
So,
specific.
are you attracted to his nerdy, I guess, reserved type of demeanor, or what?
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know. I think I just like Yeah, I don't know what it is because I mean he's not a bad looking guy just on the surface, but then it's like the funny, quirky things that he does. But again, you know, we've watched Giovanni do a lot of things. We've talked about him on Friends. We've seen him in films, Ted, and other
Fruit Loops commercials.
Fruit Loops commercials. We've seen him. Our generation has grown up watching him, and he always plays a similar type character.
When we were driving in the car on the way here, wait, I like that. You wouldn't be doing anything else in the car, but when we were on our way,
You'll be surprised.
You could be.
You can.
So we were on the way here, and we were talking about Giovanni's freak out, and we were like, that was very Giovanni. Like that was
like we know him. No, but I feel like that's true. You grow up watching these actors. Seth Green, for example, like he's got swag. Like there's something about him. That's why he was cast as Special K in Can't Hardly Wait. Like and even in Austin Powers, like he had scenes where he was like he took control kind of, and like he you know was going toe to toe with Mike Myers in those scenes. Like there's something about these actors. You're seeing a real side of who they really are. And I think Giovanni, like we feel like we know him. Like I feel like that's him. Like he's a little awkward, but he's cute, and there's something endearing about it, and it makes him kind of sexy. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but
it's authentic. He's very authentic in that, and you know,
he's so great. He really is. Everything he says, I don't even care what it is. I believe him.
Oh yeah,
like you are that person right now. You're for sure
when he
that
did.
person.
Okay, so we're just talking about things.
Wait, we were talking about funny things though. Can I tell you the dads weren't really that integral in this episode, but they did have some great one-liners, and I do love how the show is so genius in the way that it like interjects like its social commentary in like a very sneaky way. And I remember being on set, and John Viner was like, the audience isn't getting the nuanced jokes, like they're not getting those like the ones that like fly under the radar that are like you have to literally listen to every line that they say. So some that I wrote down were the ribbon generation. They were referring to the virtual tournament as, of course, the ribbon generation. Everybody gets a ribbon now. It's the millennials, and everybody gets
let's talk about that for a
an
second.
award for showing up.
Let's talk about that for a second. What do you guys think about that? And we host a show, Jen and I, here at AfterBuzz TV called The League. You can check us out after this show's over. That also dealt with the same issue. How do you feel about being in a team sport, being a player in a team sport, and everybody gets a trophy, even if you don't win?
I think that. Oh, sorry. Go.
Ladies first.
Not this time.
No, not today.
I
No,
know
no,
your
go ahead.
moves. I know your moves. I think that your family and your parents, or like there are other ways to build your ego and your self-esteem.
I agree.
And I think when you're in a team, you're a team player. However, you play to win.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have some kind of end game, then what is the sense, and where are you going to find like reasons to achieve things?
Then don't keep score. Don't have a ref. Just like go out and play and just be like, you know,
like what? Okay, the spelling bee. Take that for instance. If there is not a winner of the spelling bee, are we going to congratulate people for spelling incorrectly?
Well, it's a contest, I mean,
right?
I'm just saying, like there's a healthy level of competition that I think needs to be taught to kids, and I don't think that they should be pit against each other, and like that's the only thing that's important in life.
Right.
But you need to have that drive. I think it's a healthy level of that, and yes, I think it's up to the parents and the families at home to reiterate, you know, positive reinforcement and all of those things. But I don't agree with everyone gets a ribbon.
I agree.
I personally, I have no problem with acknowledging individual accolade,
right?
Or accomplishment, you know, because I think that, you know, it just goes back to, okay, if you're watching the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, do you give both teams the Lombardi Trophy?
Hell no.
Hell no. You give it to the team that wins and earns it. And I think the same thing with the team.
That's what I'm saying.
You have, you know, but I will say maybe prior to 10, I have no problem. I do endorse the idea of giving everybody a ribbon or a trophy, because when you're at that age, you're still developing, and I think you need that confidence and esteem, which your family should definitely be instilling in you. But I think it's kind of important. But once you get, you know, to post-adolescence, yeah, I'm all for that, because I mean, individual achievement needs to be acknowledged.
Well, we could get into this deeper, but is that
we all feel very strongly about it.
That
clearly.
level of competition, like, is it bred enough to that point where if you get to, you know, be a teenager and now you're all of a sudden you're playing soccer where you winning is important and people get rewarded for things, are you not going to be able to do that because you haven't been taught that before?
And then if you don't win, like, do you throw a hissy fit because you didn't win and you're used to always getting an award?
It's an interesting topic, and
That's life, though. You
that's
don't
what I'm
always
saying.
get everything.
That's why we think not everyone should get a ribbon.
Exactly.
But that is a good point, and those are the kind of jokes that this show is chock full of. And I think that they fit for our generation because even though the dads are older, an older generation, they're commenting on around our generation.
Right. And obviously, the virtual tournament is a testament to that too. But there is a winner, and that winner we see in this episode. Can I say one more funny line?
Of course.
That was very dad specific. When I believe it was Crawford says, something about the Williams brothers.
Oh yeah,
but he obviously was talking about Venus and Serena.
Yes,
They were talking about tennis.
Yeah,
and he calls them the Williams brothers because that's a sexist comment. That's a lot of things that he's wrapping into that one comment.
Of course.
But that's just hysterical because they're very strong women that win.
They are, and he was just like, they're men.
Serena's shoulders are bigger than mine.
No, I mean, they're big, strong women, and that is a comment on that. I mean, normally women aren't that, well, not normally, but I mean, everyone comes in all different shapes and sizes. But I mean, even in the tennis world, though, I know these women are athletes, but I would say they're stature-wise the biggest out of the professional that I can
I don't know, because you look at someone like Anna
Kournikova,
whatever her name is. Thank you.
Enrique Iglesias' wife.
No, they broke up.
Oh.
I guess that's news and gossip for another show, but yeah, that's
Somebody
good to know.
Talk about it.
Yeah, right.
No, but
but she's a little thinner. I mean, I think Serena and Venus are like, they're like horses. They're stallions out there compared.
They're big women, and they're
Anna's a pony.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Oh, hey.
Unnecessary roughness.
I didn't say it. It was him. But no, they do comment on things like that, and things
That's the
people,
first time I heard that, actually.
People aren't going to
didn't know what to
say.
do.
Obviously, they say what people aren't going to say.
Right. And then also the
red
redheaded,
hair.
of course.
I knew you were going to they made a and I think it's fun. I always have thought it was funny when writers write specifically to poke fun at an actor for the way that they look, not for their character.
Yeah, because obviously, that's a testament to, I mean, it's about Seth Green.
It's about, it's not like, oh, well, it's written to make fun of Seth Green. And I just think he obviously has a sense of humor about it. We all do.
I mean, I think he knows he's got red hair.
I'm pretty sure he does.
That's why he got cast as Eli.
Yeah,
is it?
No.
That's what we're saying. Like, obviously, that came second.
Wait, does anyone want to talk about the fact that he looks nothing like his dad on the show?
Well, we don't know what color David's hair was before it went white.
Or what his mom looks like.
True.
But where are their moms?
Well, it's called Dads. That's a whole other
I
show.
want to know where their moms
Well, then they'll make another one
find
called
out.
Stepmoms, which is a spinoff of Dads.
We'll find out where their moms are maybe eventually. Maybe that could be a prediction.
Interesting.
So anyway, so we see, we're talking about friendship here. Usually we're talking about the dads leaving, and we're talking about wow, I'm just noticing. Sorry, I have to say this out loud. Our timer is just stuck on 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Phil. Anyway, just let us know if we're talking too much, Phil. Thank you so much.
We'll be mindful of the clock.
We're talking a lot.
There's another clock above it.
Yeah,
we just don't know when we started, though.
Yeah. That's okay. I had to comment on the fact that my face went blank and I was staring at a clock for a second. Just in
No
case
worries.
you're watching and wondering
have
at home
to-
what we were talking about.
FYI, just to keep it awkward till 7:35.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Thank you.
So we see, thanks, Phil. We have the battle here with Warner trying to decide, does he go with his wife or does he go with his best friend? And this is I'm sure that a normal problem. This happens with
Absolutely.
friends and girlfriends
Oh,
and
yeah.
boyfriends and wives and husbands all the time.
And women are usually the ones that start it, to start the.
Totally.
They will put you against your best friend. It's happened to me before.
But this is never going to happen on this show because we know that Camilla's like more like the man
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Warner's more like the woman, generally speaking, stereotypically. So we know that, of course, it's going to happen with these two. Plus, it's funny to see them fight, Giovanni and Seth Green. We love watching that little. They're just so funny together.
Yeah.
They are really funny together.
And with the
Is it because their size is sort of similar?
well, I don't know.
You said their sizes, like physical size?
Yeah.
Similar.
Well, Seth is a short dude.
Yeah.
Seth is Giovanni's so awkward and Seth has swagger, but they both are on the same level of like there's like a nerdy and
Awkwardness.
endearing quality to both of them. So it's like they relate, but then they also have these differences that
I loved when
balance
they
them
were
out.
texting each other
Yes, yeah.
in front of each other, and they were reacting. There was a lot of nonverbal
Right.
communication in this episode.
Right.
This episode could have been called nonverbal communication instead of Devil's Trouble.
Well,
it was
you should-
equally about that.
John Viner, if
We'll
you're
call it,
watching,
yeah.
should have thought about that. John Viner wrote this episode, by the way.
Did he?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I should have
Big
texted
up
him.
to my give up.
Hey.
John Viner, good one. Yeah, no, there, of course, and I think that again it could have been a call on the stereotypical like guys don't communicate well type of a thing.
But they communicate. They essentially like did a hissy fit like a girl. Like girls would communicate
Totally.
like over text and like be like meh.
Yeah.
meh.
Making the facial expressions and like, yeah, there was a lot of nonverbal communication.
What about when he accidentally sent the text to
Edna.
Edna.
and she saw it and she was like, "Oh my god!" or
No,
whatever.
she's like not cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just like
hilarious.
that. That's how
Just like
she
that.
is.
Thank
That
you.
was
Thank
good.
you,
You got the
Thanks.
part. Just in case something happens to Edna, you know who to call.
Exactly.
I am definitely
And you
understand.
so look like a Hispanic maid as well, so you can.
Oh, speaking of which, remember in the first episode, Crawford asks Camila to like clean the house or
Yeah.
something,
Oh.
and then in this episode he was like 2 martinis.
And she just went and started making them in the background. I
Right.
thought that was funny. I was watching. I'm like, what is she gonna do? Because Camilla's fiery.
Totally.
And I was like, is she gonna like say something? And she all of a sudden she just gave up and was like, you can see her like mixing and pouring the martinis. I was like, oh hey, she's. But that was when the whole problem started, and they're trying to decide who is he gonna play tennis doubles with, and they're both trying to make him feel bad. He's Warner. He's caught in the middle. Eli storms out all upset. I thought I was your friend, and Camila does the sad walk up the stairs. Clearly, he's going to go with his wife. That's where
Obviously.
his, bread is buttered. Hint, hint. And so we get to the tennis tournament. Of course, Eli's trying to find someone. Edna, we realize, has the magic touch in her wrist from all the feather dusting.
Dust.
Wait, I love when he's like, "Are you busy?" And she's like, "Well, considering I clean 2 rooms,"
8 hours a day.
she's like, "Yeah, I got time."
Yeah, that was cute.
That was so cute.
They get to the tennis tournament, and like they're all in their gear, and of course we've got Camilla's funny like grunting every time she.
It's so serious.
How could they not have done that? Because everyone always comments about like a woman that does that. They had to throw that in there. I thought she
Right.
did it well too. Like she totally committed, went for it.
Yeah.
And they lose. I thought they were gonna win. They lost. Camilla and
I had a
Warner.
feeling they were gonna lose because he didn't want to play with her in the first place, and like it would be like anticlimactic
I
if
guess.
they won. Then it would have just
That's
been like,
true.
"Oh, then you're the dream team, and you should have played together." But
Where would that
he
have
was
gone?
pissed, right?
Yeah.
I loved Edna's fans, which weren't really her
Oh,
fans. In
they
the
were Dane
stands.
Cook's fans.
Yeah, they were
Oh.
just out of order.
And I even like that joke that they had said about Dane Cook too.
That he's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they just had to jab that in there real quick.
Well, I feel like a lot of stand-up, like comedians or writers, will comment about how they don't think Dane Cook is funny.
Yeah.
I'm not commenting. I'm just saying I've heard.
I think he's an easy target too, and the fact that his name is Dane and that's the same letters as Edna, it was
Yeah.
like an easy
Yeah.
mix-up.
That was hilarious, by the
That
way.
is actually funny how they would have come up with that.
Yeah,
See, these are the things that let you know that they're coming up with this stuff like clearly on the spot, not on the spot, but like week by week, this is being written.
yeah.
Like the comment about the red hair, and like somebody in that room was like, wouldn't that be funny if they were Dane? It was supposed to be Dane for Dane Cook, but it was really Edna. I mean, that was like not an
Yeah.
integral part of the story. That was just one little joke. Like,
Right, and
Exactly.
also, by the way, when you go to a comedy show, you
you
don't
don't do that.
you don't wear like war paint like you do at a game.
Well, maybe for Dane Cook shows you do. I don't know.
I haven't been to one, so
So this ends up causing a huge problem. One of my favorite parts of the episode was when Giovanni lost it. Warner loses his cool. He loses, and he throws a like child hissy fit.
breaks the TV, throws the remote.
Steps on the remote, breaks the TV, throws the chair, screams,
It was
does
brutal.
a karate kick,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and then shrinks down like normal Warner style, and then says, "Don't look at me," all pathetic. And that's when I laughed. I think that was like one of the funniest parts for me.
Yeah.
When I don't just think he's just so awkward and funny. So that was great. Now they need to go to the therapy session because there clearly is an issue.
I like that they all go together. It's not
Yeah.
couples therapy, even though it says it on the door. It's everybody
Group
goes.
therapy.
Yeah.
And they were on the couch, and Camilla had the pillow on her, and they were all so upset. And then the therapist was like, "We gotta go into this other room. There's a lot of no's happening. Let's
Mhm.
get up and go." And they go into this like hokey drum circle new agey room where you just know like whatever is about to go down is ridiculous and probably has really happened somewhere on this planet, maybe somewhere in Silver Lake or in that region of the world. And they had nonverbal communication with subtitles, and it was hysterical.
That was hysterical.
That was my favorite part of the
Mine
whole
too.
show.
For sure.
And the fact that they were able to actually know what the other one was
Right.
saying when they were going
It
back.
was good, totally. Like, you know, they had lines memorized that they had to, like, I'm saying this now, because their facial expressions are really
Had the
indicative
show,
of
yeah.
what- yeah.
They had to know what the
exactly.
subtext was. I also loved that they brought that back to The Office.
Yes.
The same communication,
Right.
and they, Eli and Warner were using that on their desks to talk.
Yeah, they were using the and you could tell they were doing like therapy communication as well. They're like,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for talking to me and telling me how you're feeling.
Yeah.
That
You
makes
are a
me-
very caring friend.
That makes me feel very positive inside. It was like, oh my God, you know, it's so funny too. You always have that friend who's like, you've been going to therapy, haven't you? Because
Right.
that's not
Yeah.
that is not
Right,
your
you're
version.
just you're regurgitating what
That's
you learned.
just very weird.
Right.
But yeah, that was hysterical. I thought the buildup between Camila and Warner was really like funny and natural. How they like, oh, but you look really nice, and I wore this shirt for you. And then they started making out. And
Yeah.
of course, you leave it up to Eli to hit on anything that.
He totally does.
I
Now
love
I
that.
notice it more.
How
Yeah.
funny was that when she's like, put the drum down. He's like, I can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was good.
I loved that. And then, like we said, they get back to the office and they've got, they're communicating like that therapy discussion verbiage. And we saw a little chemistry happening again between Eli and, well, on Eli's end anyway, between Eli and Veronica.
Veronica,
We
yeah.
still think something like that is happening. I do, at least.
Sounds like a prediction.
Okay, well, then why don't we just move into predictions? Because I have like 3 floating around in my mind right now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Just noticed they changed
Are
the
you-
lights from there.
Yeah, there's
that-
colors happening.
I know.
That has happened every time. Phil,
Oh, it
back me
does?
up. Phil.
It has.
Oh, whoops.
Somebody's not paying attention.
Whatever. I'm focused on the show, not the lighting.
So am I, but there's a lot of aspects of the show for all you out there watching us on the computer or listening to us. Speaking of you folks out there that are doing that, I know we're in predictions right now, but thank you for going on to iTunes and rating and commenting and keeping the conversation going here. We are fans of dads, and you are too, and we want to hear what you have to say. We appreciate all your feedback, so rate and comment and tell a friend, and pay attention to our lighting and all of the aspects that come together on AfterBuzz TV to bring you guys the shows that you love to watch. Okay, so predictions. I am going to repeat myself and say I really do think that the season is going to end with like either a kiss between Eli and Veronica or like the idea of it's going to be a kiss,
I think something for sure will happen.
something physical.
Yeah, they've been building it up kind of the last few episodes just
And it
between
doesn't
them.
seem like she's gonna like go for it, but I feel like she is more of a closed book.
Yeah.
And there's something brewing inside that she's just not talking about. But Eli's more like, oh yeah, he hits on everything. So, but I really do think what he there's something special happening.
I hope something happens with them.
I know.
Or more stuff with her, because she has these like funny quips that she makes and
know.
things, but I want more of
I
her.
want more of her
Yeah,
too.
I wish they would really develop her character a lot more. I think that would be so.
Maybe
just
they will
take,
now.
Maybe they will. since we're
Very because
asking
they're
for it.
listening. Absolutely.
What about?
And because they were picked up for a full season.
That's
so.
right.
That's right.
Do you have a prediction, Jen, besides your wish?
Oh, I predict one of the dads is going to get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Kevin?
Well, seeing that the closure music is coming on, I better be quick.
Hurry.
Along the same lines as Jen here. I think
Girlfriends
that
for all.
one of the dads is gonna get a girlfriend and move out and then move back in.
Oh,
We'll
because
see.
they're going to be sad about it. They're going to realize that they've been
Exactly.
pushing them out the whole time, but they really want them to stay. Yay! Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We're going to bring you guys more guests, we promise. We've got a couple more episodes this season to go, so we are going to bring more people in for you, so tune in for that. Thank you so much again for tuning in, listening, and watching. I'm your host, Lauren Leonelli. You can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, and my website.
And I'm Jenifer Golden. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jen the Jew, and on Facebook as Jenifer Golden, and my website, which is jennifergolden.com.
I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Twitter at Hey Kevin John, Instagram at Hey Kevin John, and on my website, it's kevinjohn.com.
All right. right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Deuces.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.